Hi everybody, this is Miss Johnston here to talk about your vocabulary words for Unit 7. Our first word is allay. It is a verb, which means to calm or pacify, to lessen or relieve. The idea here is that if you are allaying something, you're helping someone to maybe feel better, like the synonyms say, to reduce or alleviate something. Some antonyms would be aggravate, exacerbate, or intensify. But when we allay, there's a bit of relief and there's a lessening of intensity. Number 2 is bestial, which is an adjective. This one should be pretty easy to remember because bestial means beast-like or beastly, brutal, in a sense where you are being subhuman either in your intelligence or your sensibility. So some synonyms are animalistic, loathsome. Some antonyms are human and virtuous. This one should be pretty easy for you guys. Number 3 is convivial, which is an adjective. The definition here is being festive, sociable, having fun together, having a good time. If you'd like to use root words, you can see viv, V-I-V, like vive, life, like having a lively good time. So some synonyms are fun-loving, jovial, and merry. Some antonyms are sullen, like you're kind of down on things, or unsociable. Number 4 is coterie, which is a noun. Definition of coterie is a circle of acquaintances, like a close-knit, often exclusive group of people with common interest. You can think of this as a clique of people, or maybe a crew in a sense. People who are maybe fans of Tay Swift, for instance, her crew could be thought of as a coterie. Number 5, counterpart, a noun. Counterpart is a person or thing closely resembling or corresponding to another, a compliment. And a compliment not in the sense like you're giving somebody a favorable statement about themselves, but instead a compliment as in a good match for each other. Kind of like you think of maybe a president and a vice president should be counterparts. Number 6 is demur. This is a verb and a noun, but as you can see, since the synonyms and antonyms are both verb words, then that would mean this word is more often used as a verb than as a noun. So the definition of demur is to object or take exception to for the verb, or the noun version is just that it's an objection. So for our synonyms, it would be to protest or object to, and our antonyms are accept or agree to. Number 7 is effrontery, which is a noun. For effrontery, the definition is shameless boldness or impudence. And I don't want you guys to think of shameless and boldness as separate ideas here. It's kind of all blended together, where an effrontery is an act that is shamelessly bold. Like you had the nerve to do something, would be considered an effrontery. So some synonyms are chutzpah, nerve, and antonyms are shyness and timidity. So both of those antonyms have to do with the fact that you don't have that nerve or boldness to do something. So make sure you think of an effrontery as something that is shamelessly bold. Number 8 is embellish, which is a verb. Definition is to decorate or adorn, to improve by adding details. If any of you guys, little girls, were out there embellishing your clothing when you were little with a little bedazzler and kind of decorating your clothes in that way, that could be thought of as embellishing. A synonym is to garnish, so you kind of add that detail to improve. Like when you garnish a plate of food, you are adding detail to make it look more appetizing. Some antonyms are to strip or mar or disfigure. Number 9 is ephemeral, which is an adjective. If something is ephemeral, it is lasting for a short time. It is very short-lived. So maybe some of you, like a little kid's school crush, could be something thought of as ephemeral. It was just a short, quick little crush. Some synonyms for ephemeral are transient or transitory, which are both words that also mean lasting for just a short time or not around for a while. Some antonyms for ephemeral are durable, long-lasting, and permanent. Number 10 is felicitous, which is an adjective. Felicitous is something that is marked by well-being or good fortune. So a felicitous turn of events would be kind of a lucky or fortunate turn of events. Some synonyms are fortunate and luck. Some antonyms are unfortunate and unlucky. Number 11 is furtive. This is an adjective. Definition for furtive is done slyly or stealthily, sneaky, secret, shifty. So you have a lot of good synonyms even just within that definition there. A lot of the times you hear this word used with the word glance to describe a glance, like a furtive glance is like a sneaky little look. You could also think of like a stealth bomber is used to do different furtive actions within the military. So some synonyms are covert or surreptitious. Some antonyms are open and obvious. Number 12 is garish, which is an adjective. Definition of garish is tastelessly showy or overdecorated in a vulgar or offensive way. So some synonyms for garish are gaudy and flashy. Sometimes I like to think of maybe examples of famous people who are garish or who dress in a garish way. I think of Flava Flav, for instance, would often have a very garish dress with that big old clock. And some antonyms for garish are subdued, understated, and quiet. So if something is garish, opposite of quiet, we can think of something very loud, like a very loud outfit would be kind of standing out and over-decorated and a little too showy. Number 13 is illusory, which is an adjective. Definition of illusory is misleading, deceptive, or lacking or not based in reality. So a lot of times illusory might have to do with having a false sense of something. You can see with the synonyms, you have the synonyms imaginary and false. So kind of having a false sense of something, an illusory sense of security perhaps, could be one example. Some antonyms are actual, real, and factual. Number 14 is indigent, which is an adjective. If something is described as indigent, then it is describing something needy or impoverished. So some synonyms are penniless and destitute. Some antonyms are affluent and prosperous. Number 15 is inordinate, which is an adjective. Definition of inordinate is far too great, exceeding reasonable limits, or excessive. So you can think of an inordinate amount of something when it comes to this word. Maybe people might have an inordinate amount of material belongings, or maybe someone had an inordinate amount of time to do something. So it kind of goes beyond what is reasonable. Some synonyms are unreasonable, exorbitant, or extravagant. Antonyms are reasonable or equitable. Number 16 is jettison, which is a verb. Definition of jettison is to cast overboard, get rid of as unnecessary or burdensome. You can definitely think of casting overboard like throwing something overboard on a ship. That would be jettisoned. So for synonyms, you have discard or dump. You dump something overboard, you could be considering that you are jettisoning something overboard. Some antonyms are to conserve, retain, hold onto, or keep. Number 17 is misanthrope, which is a noun. A misanthrope is a person who hates or despises people. So if there's anybody out there who you ever hear saying, "Oh, I hate everybody, I hate people," you can consider them a misanthrope. So the synonym is quite simple and easygoing here. It's just people hater. Number 18 is pertinacious, which is an adjective. Quite a long definition here, but pertinacious is basically something or someone that will not budge. Pertinacious means very persistent, holding firmly to a course of action or a set of beliefs, hard to get rid of, refusing to be put off or denied. So some good synonyms for pertinacious are stubborn and determined. Some people might think of like dogs being very stubborn or determined at times, or maybe someone who knocks on your door and is trying to sell you something and will not go away. as being very pertinacious people. Some antonyms for pertinacious are easily swayed. Number 19 is probably the silliest looking word in the list. This word is picayune, which is an adjective. If you are describing something as picayune, this means you are describing it as having little value or importance, concerned with trifling matters, small-minded, and trifling as in small. So some synonyms are trifling and unimportant, dealing with small matters here. Antonyms are important, significant, and huge. Number 20 is raiment, which is a noun. Definition of raiment is clothing and garments, and our synonyms are apparel and attire. And that's it for our Unit 7 vocab words for this unit. Please study nice and well so that way you do well on the quiz, and good luck!